You're listening to the One Man Show Network.
Welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast with your host, Aaron Weinbaum.
Hey everyone, welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Weinbaum. I am multi-streaming here on Get Vocal, so hopefully this is all working very well. I don't know, but I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube if this is working correctly, and I'm on Facebook. So I don't know if I'll be able to get all your comments or not. I'm certainly going to try. But I need to try to go ahead and share this before I start talking. This is the difficult part. So the Periscope's not quite coming through on the Twitter, which is interesting. So I'm going to try to share that broadcast right now. So I had to turn that down. This is interesting. Okay. So I wonder if I can not Right Hook MMA. Welcome. I'm trying to share this broadcast, but it is kind of strange here. So hang loose, Right Hook MMA. We're going to start picking some fights here. I think I got it. Maybe. Oh man, see, silence is deadly here. Deadly. All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to get to this right now. Picking fights for Bellator Friday and Saturday at the Mohegan Sun, I believe. So we got the rematch between Lyoto Machida and Phil Davis, as well as a title fight with Juan Archuleta on Saturday and Patchy Mix, if I'm saying that correctly. So let's see if I can do this. Boom. All right. This is my last shot to share the Periscope right there. Oh, I shared it. Beautiful. It doesn't look like everything's firing, but I'm going to go ahead and record this anyway. Like I said, this is a total experiment, but hey, at least I'm trying something new, so come on. Thank you. All right, first up on the Friday night card, Leslie Smith versus Amanda Bell. Leslie Smith, a friend of the MMA Fight Picks podcast. She's been on before. I think she was on my old podcast as well. The Aaron Says What podcast, for those of you old school people that remember that. It's been a couple of years on that one. I do miss that podcast, however. This fight, Leslie Smith and Amanda Bell, taking place at featherweight. You may remember, Leslie hasn't fought since November last year, so almost a year ago. She lost against Arlene Blencow. Before that, she had 3 wins in a row, Sinead Kavanaugh, Amanda Lemos, and Irene Aldana. I don't know much about Amanda Bell. You're going to find a lot of these fights here are kind of mismatches. I feel like some of these fighters are, they're fighting against more well-known people, but they don't quite have a name yet. So, they're fighting for Twitter check marks and Wikipedia pages. So, interesting there. So taking a look at Amanda Bell, she just lost to Janae Harding, beat Janae Harding, lost to Arlene Blencow, win over Amanda Lebrock, a loss over Talita Noguera. So it's really kind of backing down. She has a win over Gabby Holloway, who is also fighting in Bellator. Like I said, I think this is a total mismatch. Nothing against Amanda Bell, but they're trying to build up some of these stars they've brought over from the UFC, like Leslie Smith, who I love. But I gotta say, I like Leslie Smith in this fight. Next up, this fight is taking place at middleweight, I believe, even though Ed Ruth is a welterweight, taking on Taylor Tombstone Johnson. All right, well, another mismatch, except for the weight. The weight may be a bit of a thing here, but Ed Ruth did just lose a decision. Is that right? I remembered that differently, but no, he did. He lost that decision against Yaroslav Amasov back in February of this year. Before that, he had 2 wins in a row. Jason Jackson and Kichi Kunamoto. I don't have my glasses on because it was jacking up with the glare. I'm sorry. So this is not my best camera. best microphone setup. I'm trying to get this vocal thing to work. So, haha, shit just joined. What's going on? Feel free to help pick fights here. Jeez, Louise. Let's look at Taylor Tombstone before I totally go crazy. He just lost against Andre Muniz. He's a Dana White Contender Series guy. So that was over a year ago. I don't even remember him. I do watch Dana White's Contender Series. I don't remember this fight. Interesting here. He's really fought nobody I've heard of. So, gosh, and he lost fairly quickly back in August. Submission. Yeah, come on, Ed Ruth all the way. Another mismatch. Kat Zingano, Gabby Holloway. Kat, of course, famously moving over from the UFC. It's been a while since we've seen her fight. Her last fight was that eye injury with the toenail and the slice in her eye with Megan Anderson. I do remember watching that. Very interesting here. Before that, she has a win over Marion Ronal, but then loss, dating all the way back to 2015. But she has not been fighting very frequently. It's almost been 2 years, so December 2018. And here we go, Gabby Holloway here. Let's take a look-see, shall we? Just beat Alexis Dufresne. But she has losses to Amanda Bell, Arlene Blencow. Yeah, man, total mismatch again. I like Kat Zingano. I mean, if you're looking for underdogs here, this is your card. But you won't see me putting any money on these underdogs. No, sir. Or ma'am. Hey, next up, Derek Campos versus Keone Diggs. Let's take a look at Derek here. I think this one is also... I think this may be at lightweight, believe it or not. Let's take a look. But yeah, so I think this one's at lightweight, even though Derek normally fights at 145 pounds. So he just lost to AJ McKee in the Grand Prix featherweight Grand Prix quarterfinals. Before that, beats Daniel Strauss. And then he's got 3 losses in a row before that: Pedro Carvalho, Sam Cecilia, Patricky Friere. I think one of the Pitbull brothers here. They're both Pitbull. That is so strange to me. So very, very interesting here. So let's take a look at Keone Diggs here. Nothing but wins. This might be one of those deals where Keone is an underdog, but he fights at that weight. He fights at 155 pounds, all wins. I think this might be a bad move up for Campos, if I'm going to be honest with you. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see for sure. But, I don't like this one for Campos. I'm going to go probably an upset here, Keone Diggs. All right. This one, not so much of a mismatch, I think, but I still think it is a mismatch. Liz Carmouche moving over from the UFC. We're at featherweight here with Deanna Bennett. Deanna Bennett loses 2 in a row recently. Miranda Maverick. Karina Rodriguez hasn't won since February last year against Miranda Maverick. So that was a rematch, and she lost it back in September last year. So hasn't fought in over a year. And, of course, Liz Carmouche just recently fought the champ, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, at the UFC. Excuse me, Valentina Shevchenko. Not the most exciting fight, but she did go the distance with Valentina, and Valentina is tough. Before that, she had 2 wins in a row. Lucy Pudova, Jennifer Maia, who I believe... Is she getting the next title shot? Let's take a look. I think she is getting the next title shot because she took a short notice fight and beat, Joanne Calderwood. So, interesting. Interesting here. It is interesting that Liz Carmouche had to move over from Bellator, and I think that is mainly due to the fact that they wanted her to fight at featherweight is the story, which is very strange. I don't know. But, yeah, Liz Carmouche all the way, all day. All right, next up, John Fitch. Neiman Gracie. This is going to be a good grappling match. This is underrated. John Fitch last had a draw with Rory McDonald. He's on a quiet win streak here besides that draw dating back to 2015. Yushin Okami, Jake Shields, Brian Foster, Paul Daly, So, that's very interesting here. We'll go with Neiman. I think he's only lost once. Yeah. to Rory, a decision. But he's got wins over Ed Ruth, Javier Torres. Not the greatest names in the world, but John Fitch and Rory McDonald, that's a bad matchup for Rory, just because of the grappling heavy and how strong John is. But I don't know. I don't know. This is a really tough one to pick, but I think Neiman's a little underrated too. I know his lack of competition. Maybe Ed Ruth, but he submitted Ed quick, and Ed's a wrestler, not so much a jiu-jitsu guy. But oh man, I think I'm gonna go Neiman. I'm gonna go with just Neiman on the jiu-jitsu with the jiu-jitsu edge there. So interesting. If you are on Periscope, let me know because I'm not getting. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'm moving on here. All right. The main event of Saturday, the 145-pound championship. Juan Archuleta, Patrick Patchy Mix. So Patchy's not his real name. How about that? So let's take a look here. Juan just beat Henry Corrales. Let's see. Patchy. Yeah, Patchy. Very interesting here. Okay, I'm just sorry. I'm looking at these stats here because. Uh-oh. We had an issue here. Interesting. Marking these fights or these fighters, which is it's very sad. So I didn't even know there was a card, which is kind of interesting here. So it looks like I lost my internet connection. Oh well. That's fine. It's fine. Interesting. I'm gonna grab the spot back here. I don't know if my connection broke or their connection broke, but it is what it is. So, interesting. Joe Stevenson's Cobra Kai. I love the training here. I do. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm just gonna go here. I believe this, like I said, it's for the championship. So he beats Henry Claus, loses to Patricio Fier, has wins over Edro Dantes, Ricky Bandejas, Jeremy Spoon. And then, so Patchy Mix, nothing but wins, kind of about the same caliber, but he's moving up. I'm going to go with Juan Archuleta here. And that'll do it. So sorry about the stream problems. We'll see you next time. Shalom. Let's end this.
Please remember to support the podcast by visiting the affiliate links on AaronSaysWhat.com.